Sarah, French, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
And thank you so much for your time talking about movies and especially Space Wars, Quest for Deep Star or
Yay.
the Deep Star. I got to get that right. Uh,
Yes, best for the Deepstar.
I had the privilege of talking with Michael Perry this morning, and
Oh,
he says nothing. He just loves you, just wants to work with you all the time.
I gotta say, Michael and I really gelled well on set. I've worked with him on a few other projects, but we never had that close of a connection with the other projects that we did with this one.
Hmm.
And the father-daughter duo worked very well for us. It felt very natural. And I remember even when we were on breaks and things like that, in between filming, I would still call him dad because I wanted to keep that natural connection going throughout the filming process. So I
That's
hope he wasn't too worried about like weirded out by that.
No, he wasn't. Of course, you deal on set. You have to be able to continue those relationships during the downtimes because then you kind of lose the pacing.
Yeah, you really have to. And it just makes it that much easier when you're fully into character at all times. Like that's how I work. I immerse myself in the characters and I become that character. And it just makes things so much more natural.
Do you use a particular method, like
No, I don't. I mean, really, I just I what I my process is I like to memorize the lines and then I start figuring out, what I want to do with this character and kind of giving them my own little backstory. Nobody else needs to know about it but me. And and then once I get to set and get in the mode, then it just all becomes natural to me.
and your character Taylor is a beautifully written character. I mean, it even for a small budget, film, this character is so deep.
You know, Joe Netter is such a wonderful, amazing writer. And he really just made this character so beautiful, gave her so many levels. And his writing was just amazing because it gave all of us actors so much to work with and so much to sink our teeth into. And I had such a wonderful time bringing Taylor to life. I mean, Taylor is a character I've always wanted to bring to life. She's my Ripley in Alien. She's tough and she has no problem rushing into danger. And I've always loved doing my own stunts in films, and this role definitely required it. Um, but with that being said, Taylor is also struggling with her mom's death, and she's willing to do what she can to bring her back to life. And that's kind of her driving force throughout the film.
Yeah, it is that hero's journey, to accomplish something, and everything around you is trying to kill you.
We're getting it from all different sides of the universe,
Yeah,
but that's
never trust anybody.
fun. That's what makes it a super fun action adventure journey. And we like to call it, I'm sure Gatto said it, but we like to call it kind of like a space opera.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of Battle Beyond the Stars and Star Crash, you are gonna love this film. And I really enjoy the word love because we put a lot of love in this film and you can see it.
Well, it pays homage to those great science fiction movies of the 70s, and the 80s. Battle Beyond the Stars is one you mentioned. I say Ice Pirates as well. And
Yes, yes. And that's what I love about Gado Setien. I mean, I worked with him on his very first feature film called Automation. I don't know if you got a chance to see that one
I
yet.
did, and yeah.
Awesome.
And
Uh,
Sadie Katz was in it as well.
yes. And we worked so well together. And we stayed in contact after filming that and became really good friends over the years. Same with Anahit, his wife as well, who's also in both films. And it's so great to work with Gatto because he's an amazing director, and he has such passion for the sci-fi adventure genre, and you can see that throughout the film.
Do you love that genre as well? I mean, did you grow up watching sci-fi movies in Minnesota?
I good old Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, and I still get the accent too every now and then. You might hear it come out today. But yes, I am a fan of sci-fi. Like I said, I love Alien. I also love Event Horizon.
Mhm.
That film doesn't get a lot of love, and I think it should because it's so great. But I also enjoy fantasy adventure films as well, like Krull, Red Sonja, Beastmaster, and to this day, one of my favorite TV shows is Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah. My gosh. The girl that played Xena's daughter is Adrienne Wilkinson. She's like my sister. I mean, I adore her, and we're really really dear friends.
That is awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, but you like an action, you like physicality in your roles
Do
because you don't want to be the girl just sitting there or tripping.
oh no. Um, well, in real life, I'm big into fitness, health and fitness. And I post every now and then on my social media account some of my workouts that I do. And I do a lot of flipping tires. I use the rope. I push and pull the sled. Like, I do crazy hardcore workouts.
Wow.
So I'm very strong. So, and I think that was, I don't know if Gatto mentioned it, but he was inspired by that because he saw some of my videos, and he was like, how would you like to be an action hero in a space adventure film? And I said, when do I start?
Well, you are a badass, and you know it's nice to be you know, a female badass now in movies, because we didn't have them. I mean, maybe Ripley was the first
Oh,
real
hell
one.
yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I love Ripley. She's just such a badass. And, the Terminator movies too. You got Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
She
Oh wow. Yeah.
kicked some ass. Like, I love to see that. And as a little girl watching these kind of movies, and with Xena Warrior Princess, I was just like, God, I want to do that. Like, it's so inspiring. And I want to be someone that can inspire little girls too.
Did
So,
you learn how to use a sword? And you know, I mean, do you have those tools in your tool belt?
no, but I'm pretty familiar with fighting choreography and stunts and things like that. So, at some point I would like to learn that. I think that would be really fun more than anything. Whether I use it or not, it would just be awesome and fun to do. But yeah, it's definitely right up my alley.
Would you step behind the camera more and more and direct and produce?
Um, well, I am producing right now. I do have my own production company with Joe Netter and Marcel Walls. We just formed it last year, and it's called Neon No More. And we do mostly horror films that are commercial and beautiful. And we finished our first feature film last year called That's a Wrap. And that one is it's a slasher that takes place in a film studio. So it's very giallo feeling. It's very meta. It's super funny with lots of horror, of course, as well. And we are currently in pre-production on our next film, and I can't say much about that yet, but that one is more beautiful horror
Okay.
and brutal.
Well, I mean,
So yeah, so as far as stepping behind the camera, yes, that's a part of it. But I really enjoy being in front of the camera, telling stories that way. And I mean, you just never know down the road.
no, you never know what door will open for you in this business.
Exactly. I mean, it's just, I get to do what I love. I'm so grateful. I never take any of it for granted.
Now, I know that you are trenched in the horror genre, but do you enjoy comedy over drama? I mean, do you enjoy being funny on camera?
I do. I do it. I think I do a pretty good job at it. Never done a straight comedy, but you know, within horror films and you know, our space adventure film and you know, with any film there's a lot of comedy within that. So I get to, you know, kind of play with that as well. So that's always super fun for me. And I really like horror. I mean, I grew up watching it. When I was 5 years old, I saw Child's Play for the first time and it scared the hell out of me. But that's where my love of horror came from, because I was like, oh my God, I need more. What else can I get my hands on? And that's what led me to where I am today, because I started in 2006 doing short horror films. And actually Joe Netter, my boyfriend, who wrote Space Wars, he was I met him on my very first short film called Pajama Party Massacre. And so we've known each other and worked together for many years. And he's really a great partner in all aspects.
Well, that's good, because a lot of times working with someone that you're involved with doesn't work out, you know.
Yeah, it works very well for us. And I think it does because he's a writer and I'm an actor, and they just, I guess we click, we get each other. And Joe's very supportive, I'm very supportive, and we just want to succeed together.
Sarah, I want you to come out here to Utah and make a horror movie.
I love to travel.
I'll produce it. I'll put up the money. We'll make it happen. But in doing all that, I mean, owning your own production company and following all that, I mean, there's a lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility you have.
It is. And it's just one of those things, working in, you know, working in the what we do is, it's always pressure. But that's what drives me. Like, I work the best under pressure. And I've realized that over the years, because there were times where, I mean, with Space Wars, at one point I was shooting 2 films at once. I was shooting Bermuda Island and Space Wars at the same time. And
Wow.
it is kind of hard to snap into one character into the next character, but that's where I do my best work, is when I'm under extreme pressure. So I think you just kind of get used to it and you figure out what works well for you, and you just, you know, stay positive and just keep working at it.
You must know everybody in the horror business.
I do know quite a bit of people.
Well, it's such a small community, really, when you get
It
down to
really
it.
is. It really is. And, you know, and with that being said, you know, being in a small community, it's a big industry, but a small community. And that's why being on time, being present, being positive, having great work ethic, and, you know, just all that makes such a difference. And if you're a bad apple or a bad seed and you're negative, you have all sorts of baggage you're bringing to set, you're dramatic, your career's not going to last long, because people don't want to work with people like that.
Well, it's true. Jodie Foster told me years ago that the first thing she learned, you know, when she was a young actress, was set etiquette. You know,
100%.
who goes to the catering truck first, you know, and
Yep.
how to be kind to other people and it's a learning experience for a lot of people.
100%. And honestly, that's how I've gotten most of my gigs over the years is, you know, with the crew and the other cast, like, you don't know, everybody is doing their own thing besides what they're here doing. You know, the PA might have his own movie that he's working on.
Yeah.
He might be a director. You know, other people might be producers, but they're doing, you know, group work for the day. So you have to just be nice to everybody. And, you know, we're all here doing what we love. We're passionate. And, you know, not many people get this opportunity. So if you're negative in any way, then you know what? Get out, because we ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
We have movies to make.
Say your line and hit your mark, and that's, you know, pretty much. But again, in working in this particular genre, you have that responsibility on you too, is that you have an audience that follows you, and you have people in this industry always watching, and it's great to come out with something that really is a cut above, or so different that it's a cut above.
Yeah, I mean, I am so grateful to be a part of this film and to bring Taylor to life, because she kicks so much ass and she has so many layers to her, so much emotion, and it's truly a wonderful part that I am so grateful I was able to bring to life. And hopefully this won't be the last of
I
us.
hope not. Yeah, we did talk about sequels and miniseries and things that
Great.
going through Guro's head, and
Oh yeah.
he's an amazing guy, and he's very loyal to his friends.
Oh, I love Gatto. I mean, like I said, when we worked on automation together, we just clicked and we became really good friends soon after that. And Joe and I go to Gatto and Anahit's house for, different functions and hang out, and we watch bad movies together, and we go to these events together. And I like surrounding myself with people that are passionate, that are just genuinely good people, because let's be honest, we're in LA. Good, real people are very hard to find.
I know. I grew up out
If
there.
if you find good people, stick with them, and people that are on the same trajectory as you, that want to elevate and keep doing really good work and keep moving up in the ladder. And yeah, it's, you have to.
I grew up out there, and
Oh, you did?
yeah, I live in Salt Lake City now, but I grew up in a little town called West Covina,
Oh
and
yeah.
and cut my teeth there. But Minnesota, one of my dear friends, Richard Dean Anderson, is from Minnesota.
No way.
He's Stargate and MacGyver.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah. So
That's amazing.
listen, it's a small world,
No,
unless you have to wallpaper it, and then you need friends.
yeah,
I am so pleased to meet you
you're great.
to chat with you. And I'm going to be coming out to LA in a little bit. I'd love to take
Oh,
you and Joe out and have a cup of Joe or something and just talk bad movies and films.
we are so down.
I'm going to try to find you on social media and just thank you again for this interview on social media. But Sarah, I am so pleased to get to know you. You are one of those kind and dear. I can tell right away. I could tell right away that you're just.
Well, it's the Minnesota, the Minnesota nice, the Minnesota blood. I mean,
I remember Rocky and Bullwinkle were from Frostbite Falls, Minnesota. So
oh my gosh, that makes sense.
nobody remembers them. Anyway,
You.
you take care. Have a wonderful evening and enjoy life tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Sarah.